All right, folks, welcome to Bingo is Life. The post bingo podcast. And I heard I'm Jay Zare, the third best X-Men and stand-up comedian in ventriloquist in the Shenandoah Valley.
That's what I heard too.
Joined by the one and only Dan Easley.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. My pleasure.
Introducing him first, we have the fabulous Howdy Shell brothers.
Yeah, hello.
And over here, Mum Shackles Janine.
We're just going with Mum Shackles.
Just going with Mum Shackles. I like throwing the one extra. We have in the Silent Dave chair a special guest who's going to speak shortly. So I heard that a little Latvian boy won $100 tonight.
Is that right? Wow. Dreams do come true.
It finally happened. Actually, to be perfectly honest, we have a plan for a $100 winner.
Oh, yeah.
There is a plan. When we give out this plan and we start talking about it, people are going to be excited.
T-shirt cannons.
It's even better
Confetti
than,
from the
it's
ceiling.
even better than that. It's
The
even
bowling
better.
lanes open up, and inside is a big Zeppelin.
Yeah.
This is a
Swan. A swan.
Zeppelin.
We went with the swan.
Okay.
Shaped dirigible.
Actually, this is January 2nd, 2024.
Yeah.
That's right. And unfortunately,
wondering.
this evening bingo was not available.
So I don't know.
We had to-
I don't know.
Not
where we are.
available.
No, it was canceled in our area
All the letters and numbers were used up.
for tonight.
We're
Yeah.
in some kind of bizarre man cave on the outskirts of town. Expecting the sheriff's deputies to show up any minute with a battering
We're
ram.
still in Harrisonburg. though. This is in Harrisonburg.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we
outskirts.
what are we plugging? We got improv.
I got Improv Friday night, 7:30, Court Square Theatre, Friday, January 5th.
Wow.
Rocktown Improv. Anything can happen. Anything might happen.
And we're getting closer. We're in the year that the Tom Petty tribute is happening.
It's
so
I got
the
to
thing.
see the poster that has been made, and it's fantastic.
When will that be released?
As soon as we make a few little edits.
I got you.
We got a few little edits.
People are hungry for the poster
Spell my
design.
name right.
But
Spell my name right.
Well,
and I'm talking about the last name, not the first name.
Yeah.
I
First
got to
name's
tell
pretty
you,
easy.
I got to get your name on there.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Oh,
yesterday.
I'll get mopey.
I know. Trust me, there's going to be a
man.
lot of mopey musicians because there's about half the artists didn't make it onto the flyer.
Oh.
And so I was like, take Christian Perritt off, add
He'll be fine.
Dan Easley.
Well, you know.
I thought you were still going by Mr. Easy.
We're talking about the
that's not for public. Yeah.
That's his
Use.
stage name in West Virginia.
Damn easy.
we're talking about the tribute to Tom Petty. It's going to be at
Hellfire.
and
February 16th.
February 16th. There's going to be 75 different musicians.
The true number
them
is
get a
20.
third of a song.
But yeah.
They're all going to be playing "Girl on LSD" one version after another.
Oh, man. It's going to be
That's a
be
song, by the
great.
way.
Everybody gets one verse.
Yeah. Oh man. Have you memorized?
I'm just waiting for this event, man. And let me tell you, that is the hardest part.
I like what you did there.
I do too.
Thank you.
That's a Tom Petty song.
Yeah.
Sean, speaking of which, he's already started talking over here.
right there.
Oh, I'm
Didn't
sorry. Was I
respect the
supposed to?
silent Dave.
I'm sorry.
Our
Whose
guest,
disembodied voice is that, Jay?
all the way from the other side of reality, my old compadre, the best actor in Harrisonburg.
Yeah.
Musician,
man. Yeah.
singer, songwriter, third best improv artist on this side of Harrisonburg, the one and only Christian Perritt.
Welcome aboard, sir. Welcome.
I actually go by Mom and Shantz now.
Mom and Shantz.
Just Mom and Shantz.
That's
Right
really
next-
close to Mum Shackles, and I feel threatened.
I was going to say, are y'all allowed to be next to each other?
I might have to stomp your foot.
It has already happened.
Under the
So you are a famous celebrity. You're like Harrisonburg royalty.
Oh.
Dan Easley's
Going
term.
back. Going back.
yeah, I was Harrisonburg.
And you just killed
He
it.
abdicated.
You just killed it in that play.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Eurydice.
Yeah, you're ready.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool. That was cool.
You were in the moment. I don't know if anyone knows what we're
He was in the
talking about.
cast.
He was in the cast, but he was in the moment on stage, which is to say,
He was present.
he was present. He was being here now.
It was really cool.
And he
Back then.
gifted us with his present.
Over
Wait,
there.
did someone come to you and say, "Hey, I'm going to do this play. Would you like to be in it?" Or did you try out for it?
Yeah, no. Someone did contact me and say, "Would you be in this play?" Unfortunately, they were not involved in the play at all. it was just a guy, the guy that stands out on 33 and he's like scratches himself.
Hey, I want to see you on stage sometime, pretty boy. I like the way you smile.
I thought, is that?
Yeah.
I was thinking that was Michael. Is that, no.
That's Mike Trocchia. That's how Mike Trocchia talks when he's not on stage or on a podcast. That's how he talks.
It's when he's thirsty for talent.
That's right.
I like your talent.
So we're going to skip through all your massive accomplishments and get straight to the dog story.
That's the only accomplishment I have. So you mean how I spent New Year's Eve?
They want to know about you. Yeah, this is New Year's recap. So that would be the last year, the last day of
Recent past.
the past.
I'll try to make this brief. So I have a dog named Bob, and I have a dog named Leonard. This is about Bob. So we woke up on Saturday, and my wife wakes up earlier than me. So she comes bursting into the bedroom with a almost empty bowl of Hershey's Kisses.
You should get a third dog named Joni, and she can run around yelling at the other dogs that they stole their lyrics from classic poets.
This is far too intelligent of a crowd for me to be around. So she comes in with the almost empty bowl of Hershey Kisses and said, "Who left it out?" And I said, "Me and your sons." And so we assumed that it was the dog that had the little wrapper between his paws, gnawing on it, adorable. So I did the little hydrogen peroxide trick. For those who don't know, you have a little hydrogen peroxide. Is also it's great after dinner, but it's if you put that into the dog's gullet, they vomit. So I took the younger dog, Leonard, out and made him do that, and no kisses. So I apologized.
No vomit kisses for you.
No kisses. And I
He was
said,
just holding it in his paws.
yeah, I think Bob walked by
Yeah.
Leonard and said, "Here, chew on this."
He's coming.
Yeah, just chew on. Look guilty.
Right.
What do you mean? So Bob went out, and then it was just Play-Doh Fun Factory. It was just, and there were lots of. So it worked, but then he kept doing that, and then there was some little bloody stuff. It was bad. So we're like, all right, let's go to the emergency vet. And their first appointment, drumroll please, was 10:00 p.m. And there you go. And so I go then, and so long story short, we got in at 1:45 a.m. I did some car camping with my dog.
This is Verona.
Verona.
Yeah.
Right in the Verona.
Wait. They said 10
p.m.
is the first one they have open.
First one they have open, and then I got there, and there were lots of emergency surgeries ahead of us. So we just sat there and waited, and we got in there, and they said,
And
"He's probably fine. Do you want to do some X-rays?" I was like, "Sure. Let's spend more money."
No.
And so I have no more poker money. I'd been doing well too over the past couple of months. So
We are sitting at a poker table right now, dear listener.
That's right.
Sure enough.
So
You hear
maybe
lots of-
Christian
not
will
baccarat.
win some money tonight.
Being a denizen of the dog park for the last 5 years, you hear all these stories about dogs eating chocolate. It's just like massive amounts of chocolate, and they're just like, they're fine.
They're fine. And that's our vet told us, they were like, you probably don't need to do the hydrogen peroxide thing, but if it makes you feel better.
Did it make your dog feel better though?
No, it didn't.
So,
ate
but
those
I mean,
kisses.
when the dog threw up, it was the wrapper too, right? It wasn't just So I mean,
It was
you gotta get that
foil
out
and
of the dog.
brown and
yeah. Can you
Green
digest?
and
They
red.
can't digest.
People can't digest metal. Dogs can't either.
Jay can. Jay can digest 4
Wow.
basic metals.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that
Not
you became
alloys.
a vegan
Not
since you
alloys.
have that garbage compactor installed in your belly.
Sorry, yeah. Of course.
Yeah, the dogs, they fortunately have no consciousness. They'll forget the whole thing.
They will.
You won't be traumatized. Like, what? Where's the chocolate? Where's the next bag of chocolate?
Nothing like finding a pile of vomit and blood and chocolate with the word kisses strewn about it.
Yeah.
Just,
It's part of the new ad campaign for Hershey.
So New Year's
Don't eat
Eve,
just one.
you were in a parking lot.
Experiencing more excitement than I have the past 10 New Year's Eves.
What did you listen to on the radio or on your what was your go-to?
There was some Warren Zevon involved, and then there was some ASMR just to calm me down, and some fireplace sounds. Yeah. So
No, really, you were stressed.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yes, the worst place to. Did you see other people and their dogs not make it?
This would not be part of a funny podcast, but no, yeah, it was horribly
This has
sad.
never been a funny podcast.
The last recording we
Point
talked about lost cats. So.
Trigger alert! Trigger alert!
Here's okay. This is a little window into how sad. So I came in when we finally got seen. I came in. How sad is this picture? I come in, and as I'm coming in, a couple is approaching the desk, and one of the nurses is handing them a little doggy blanket, and she's saying, "I'm so sorry."
Oh,
As in, that's all that's left. And that's when I said, "Can we see the doctor now?" And, yeah, we went back and
Hello, listeners. We'd
Yeah.
like to warn you about the upcoming episode. May contain triggering elements of.
it was bad. It was bad. But Bob's okay. Bob's
Hey, Bob.
Oh, thank goodness.
and he pooped today. So
There you go.
any kisses? Any kisses in there?
right after the poop. So
Yeah.
You know that's the that's the shopping center that the Shannon Arts used to be in.
vomit and poop.
No, the Verona emergency vet.
Right. Sorry. Sorry.
Used
Right,
to have
yeah.
I played Allwood P. Down in that shopping center.
Elwood P. Dowd, Harvey.
Harvey.
Yeah,
Harvey.
Yeah.
Nice. You guys have done Harvey recently, right?
I personally
Not
not done Harvey.
When I look at you, I think Court Square Theater.
Right, yeah. So
Right.
the last production of Harvey had Jay as Elwood P. Dowd.
I've
I
done it
believe.
3 times.
Yeah. And Jenny Sappington as the ingenue.
Well,
And then
You've
they
always
did it
been the
at
most
Oak
qualified.
Grove. They did it at Oak Grove like last summer, and I painted a few things for them.
Cool.
So
Little-
yeah.
What was your favorite role in theater?
Well, it was a really depressing role. I want to keep bringing the podcast down.
Yeah, man.
Like, oh, Harvey, there was a dead rabbit at the emergency.
Was he wearing a top hat or anything?
That's no
He was supposed to come out of the hat.
Clever
Not be
homilies.
one with that.
and all they brought back was a half-chewed carrot and said, "I'm sorry. We've done all we can."
Did my rabbit make it?
Now that's a Jimmy Stewart impression.
There you go.
That was really good.
Take notes, man.
My favorite role.
You can walk across the street now.
And that's it.
That's
Believe
a
it or not.
Mr. Ed impersonation.
By the way, that's actually Rich Little.
Doing Nixon.
We're talking about the crossing signs in Indiana, Pennsylvania, of the hometown of Jimmy Stewart. And if you push the button, it says.
You can walk across the street now.
It's actually Rich Little. Do you remember Rich Little?
I remember Rich Little, yeah.
It's not Jimmy Stewart. He was dead, so they had Rich Little do it.
No, that's for real.
That is for real. I looked it up.
Oh.
I looked it up on the internet. It's this little.
It's a little weird.
Anyway, your favorite role?
In a really sad town in West Virginia, if you press the crossing button, it goes, wait, was she a great big fat person? Sorry. Was the Silence of the Lambs. Sorry. Sorry, that's not making it in. Is it? My favorite role was a customer in a car dealership who was interested in buying a Jeep. That was my favorite.
That was me, and he's just saying that. But we were in. I found some pictures of that the other day, and it's pictures of you, Brittany.
Was it-
Mom Shackles.
Well, what show are you talking about?
We were talking about Jeep at. I was. There was all in the same envelope.
Written by Andy Perrine.
Written by Andy Perrine. It was me and Christian, and then there was pictures of us on stage at the old Valley Playhouse on Water Street.
Yeah.
And there was pictures of you
From
and
the Newfangled Variety
from the
Hour?
Newfangled Variety
Yeah.
Hour, and me, and I looked,
And you were there.
and you were there.
That's kind of how it was. Yeah. Yeah.
That was a really fun play. There's two plays I keep trying to reproduce, like that one, and I did a play with who was the guy John? He was at the Shenandoah Shakespeare Express, the American Shakespeare Center for years and years and years. A really good actor from JMU. Anyway, he was. I did a.
John
We did
Coltrane. No, John.
Well, it was.
I know who you mean.
But anyway, it's cutting to the chase. It was, you're going to play and you're doing this great scene and you're both in the moment and you're doing all this stuff and you're like, I want to do it. And then you do about 10 plays in a row. Like, this sucks. This sucks. This sucks. This person I met, you're so boring.
Has anyone here ever done any theater on the Shakespeare Theater stage in Stanton?
Not good enough.
Those guys are really good.
Well, we
Walked
just
across
went to a
that
show.
stage to buy wine from the cart.
we just went and saw the Christmas Carol.
Yeah, it was great.
And my neighbor Ben, who we should probably have on this podcast,
Yep. Right.
was in it this time, and he told me they do like 30 plus shows.
You know,
They're busy.
And it was fantastic.
Oh, it was really
They
good.
did an incredible job.
Yeah.
I've never been. I know. Really? I know. It's stupid.
Let's go right now.
you know
with this.
the paltry
John Harrell. John Harrell.
Yeah, that's it. That's John here. We were in Glengarry Glen Ross.
Oh, I love that show.
So, speaking of the Christmas Carol, the paltry wage that Scrooge paid Bob Cratchit, and this was this was the main reason for Cratchit's.
If you put it in
Hard
timemoneyconverter.com.
If you adjust it for inflation, it's like $25 an hour. Where,
Yeah, he's making bank.
like,
Really?
Bob Cratchit didn't. He was doing pretty well compared to minimum wage of right now.
But he had those baby pigs and frogs that he had to feed.
Well, I was going to
At
say
least
he
in
had
the-
lots of
in the mother.
children.
Well, that is
He
the
had
true,
lots of
that's
kids.
the one true realization of that story.
And their health care was a stick. It's just a stick.
You can use it as a crutch. You can beat your kids with it. It has so many uses.
Oh, it's multi-use.
You can stir the pot
It's
with it.
universal. It's
It's
universal
universal
healthcare.
health care.
Christian, what's your
Thanks, Obama.
what are you doing a song for the 16th?
I am.
Which
I'm
one are
sorry.
you doing?
That made me laugh too hard. I don't know
Sorry,
yet.
we'll try to tone it down a little.
Too much fun.
More dead puppy stories. Calm down, Christian.
I'm going to bring it down again. Yeah. I kind of don't know yet what song I'm doing. Chris is mad at me because I haven't really settled on one.
Commit.
Yeah.
Well, the other bands have made their choices.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So at least you know what to choose from.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's such a large library.
What I appreciate is there's a lot of full bands that are doing.
How are we going to switch in time?
Well-
no, that's not the podcast topic.
I mean, well, I'm just everyone's gonna share equipment. We're not gonna. It's gonna be you're gonna have the same bass, same drums. I mean,
I love those.
They're
That's such cool.
It'll work out better than people think. I mean, we ran it really.
Always has.
There's
Yeah,
two
it'll
kinds
be
of
good.
people in the world. Like the Chris Hattie shows you, it's going to work out better than people think. And then there's the Jay Zers who are like, we're doomed. Ice caps are melting.
Yeah. It's gonna be fine.
My car's out of gas.
It's usually somewhere in the middle, but I'm leaning towards Jay these days.
The ice caps are definitely melting. But hey, we'll all be swimming.
Hey.
That's the thing
You
is
know,
you're
you could-
both right.
I wanted, if I had found out about it in time, you could go down and jump into the pool outside at Westover Park on New Year's Day.
Polar bear plunge.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed that.
Yeah, I was at the beach.
He said facetiously.
That's right.
I was at the beach and Grayson
Wow.
jumped into the ocean.
Wow.
Yeah.
Grayson
man.
is crazy.
He's a model of
That
health.
Grayson character.
He was great. Well, Lyd also jumped in as well, and I was, and the ocean was angry. It had there was big waves. I was like,
Oh, God.
guys, don't do it. And they're like, it'll be quick. I'm like, you're gonna die. Me and Oliver were like, no. And then they came back out. Anyways,
Grayson's teaching me Qigong.
yes,
Very, very cool.
yes.
Is that a board game or a
It's a
martial
board
arts?
game. It's like it's a little Pokemon characters, and you. No, it's like a.
You got to collect
It's
them
sort
all.
of like a medical art.
Then you fight a
I'd
guy.
say, but
It's not like Tai
medical
Chi.
arts and martial arts are all one and the same.
They really are.
You use the same stick.
It's like
Just
Tai Chi.
Tying it back into the universal.
Okay.
It's like what we think of as Tai Chi. The Tai Chi is actually a martial art. Qigong is just like an exercise for, preserving your chi or your ki or your.
We're going to have
prana.
to have Grayson on this.
I told him he's
podcast.
going to come on the pod. He doesn't want to do it.
That's right.
Oh, really?
So how many bands? If you, I'm going to switch. So Christian also he's a musician. He's played in lots of bands.
And be careful about saying who your favorite band is.
Yeah, be careful about that.
Yeah.
I know you love your brother and all.
Yeah.
Have you ever played anywhere
I know my
around
favorite
this
band.
area? Like that spot right there where you're sitting. Have you ever played guitar in that spot?
Exactly in this spot. Yeah. Yeah. And Doug has rubbed himself on me in this spot right here.
Regular sauce.
I have to go now.
There's a family show here.
Regular
family
sauce.
show.
In a musical way. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay then.
He used you like a washboard.
Regular sauce hit a special chord for me.
the same stick.
I was
What?
the right
Wow.
age. I was, 18. God, that was so much fun.
You were a child.
I was a child, and it was crazy good times.
It was a great band. It was a joke band.
The people that were dancing were wild.
Oh, man.
And it was just so much stinking fun. Did you ever do Fridays on the Square with regular sauce?
Yes, we did. To not a great reaction. People didn't really really get it.
Yeah.
And we also, one of the best gigs we ever played was
Did you yell out, "Get those walkers moving, people"?
actually we
That's what I
played.
yell when I'm trying to get people into the theater faster.
Yeah.
We played in Elkton,
Not really.
like a town festival in Elkton, and the average.
Elkton Field Days?
I think it was.
I love that. I played
Yeah.
that once. What
So
a great gig.
Our psychedelic rock band play, and we're setting up. And everyone's lining up and setting up their lawn chairs, and people are like, "I hope
God.
it's good music." And I was like, "This is gonna bomb." Best show we ever played.
Yeah.
They just stayed
Yeah.
and danced. Well, they rocked back and forth and
Do the
filled
hip
up-
break, baby.
Yeah, filled up their bag, and they like this old lady comes up, and she's like, "This was such nice music," and I was like, "That's
Wow.
probably because you couldn't understand the lyrics."
Man, I played the 106th annual Elkton Field Days like 10 years ago with like a hillbilly band, which was more perhaps apropos. And let's see here. I talked to the
Coordinator?
The coordinator. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Mayor.
the coordination of my sentence. I talked to the coordinator and I said, "So are you gonna like cut us a check or something?" And he said, "Oh no, we'll just pay you in cash. We used to write checks for the musicians, but then they just turn around and ask us to cash them for them." So they paid us in cash, and we were up on the stage. And
You got paid?
oh well, you gotta try the hillbilly music thing, man. It sounds awful, but you get paid.
It was great. It was fun.
We're up on the stage getting ready. I'm sorry, I'm just stealing your story, but
Not at all. It's done. That's how exciting I
Well,
am.
let's put a nail in it here.
We played a show once.
And there was no dead dogs at that show.
We're up on. There might have been. Yeah.
That was part of the raffle.
We're up on the stage. We're getting ready. I've got my back to the audience. And I hear the worst noise in the world, and I turn around. And
It was regular sauce.
And I say, I say to the guy, the MC, "What on earth was that, man?" And he said, "Oh, we're having our pig calling contest."
Yes.
You guys were up against the pig calling contest?
I looked. There were
Tough
only
crowd.
2 contestants, and I thought, oh, because I hadn't gotten on the medication, but yeah, I thought, oh, I got this. I said, well, I can. We keep hogs, which was true at the time.
I'm a vocalist.
I can do it.
I looked out over that audience, and have you seen the Sesame Street sketch with Bert and Ernie in the boat? And Ernie goes, "Here, fishy, 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 fishy," and a bunch of fish jump into the boat.
Yeah.
I looked out over that entire crowd, and with the most terrifying and controlling expression on my face I could muster, I went, "Here, piggy, 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 piggy."
And they loved it.
It was practically a standing ovation. So I got first place in the pig calling contest of the 106th annual Elkton Field Days. I put it on my resume now.
That is good.
Yeah.
That's why you got paid.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paid him for the pig.
You were just doing an impression of Kermit and Piggy's wedding night, and that's amazing.
Back in the day, the highlight of the field days was that everybody, all the men in town, would see who could grow the longest beard, and it would really annoy all the women. The wives just hated it, but they would try to grow really long beards and win something. I know that my first wife was from Elkton. Her father was the mayor.
Whoa.
Yes.
We've got to have another interview with him. There's so much untapped there.
I know. There it really is.
There's some crazy stuff that happened. They had like the mafia. There was like an Elkton mafia.
Yeah.
And there was a crazy pig calling guy.
It's an awful nice golf cart you got there. Be a shame if something happened to it.
Oh, holy smokes! I
right,
just killed the show with the beard story.
No, it was great. Jay.
We're all just thinking of all the possible jokes.
Yeah, right.
to
Yeah.
that anecdote.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring it back to our guest.
None of them we could say
Oh,
here.
hey, Christian.
Why do that?
Hey.
Why
No,
not?
no, we
Just-
good here. Hey.
Oh, who knows when we'll have you again?
That's
Which
right.
I'm sure we will.
Well, we will have
chances
to.
are,
Who knows
chances
when
are
you'll
really good.
agree
Because
to come back?
we've heard him say regular sauce once, and here's how my dog almost died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably ought to get more out of him.
yeah, a little bit more.
I was going to say that ensures that I will not be back.
So you've been playing with me and Mike for 10 years now.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Isn't
at
that
least.
long?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably, and
In the
actually
current-
longer.
in
With
the
when our
current
current Dr. Howell and the
Right.
Reasons to Live,
Yes.
you did play with me in the Red River roller coaster.
Heck yeah.
Which was super cool. But I have seen you play in different with your brother. What was the name? Soy Hero.
Hero, yeah.
Soy Hero. Which all these things, please check out the Soy Hero album. It is one of the best.
I'll put some links.
Yeah, put a link to that.
I will.
It is such a good album. We used to listen to it when we would open the grill. It was a classic open the grill album.
Perfect. Clean the trash out.
One for my baby, one more for the road. You do some wonderful covers. There's and a handful of really great originals. So go check out that album of his for sure.
Thank you.
There you go.
Very cool. Yeah, this I believe I'm not sure, but the podcast is trying to figure out what makes a small town like Harrisonburg the small town that it is, and that it's awesome. It's people, and you are one of those
It's people,
sir.
I tell you.
It's people.
And I mean,
you are one of those people. Yes.
you moved here. You've been here for a long time now, right?
1989.
89. Yeah. And so this is home. You'll die here.
I'm still on the fence.
No,
He's decided not to die.
Yeah.
he's thinking Las Vegas. He's like, I might die in Vegas.
Only if he eats a lot of chocolate and nobody gives him hydrogen peroxide in
Hey,
time.
take the wrappers off
Yeah.
first.
Yeah,
man.
it wasn't the chocolate; it was the wrappers.
They're the best part. They're crunchy and yeah. No, it's I've been here since '89. I've been here longer than I've not.
Yeah.
And it's
What? I'll put you on the spot. What's one of your favorite things about Harrisonburg? What do you got?
I like the sandwiches.
Ah,
They're really good. No,
Yeah.
I think it's the people is that's silly, but I love the fact that it's every place has a feel, and it's like you kind of. I like the fact that there's some places that even try to fight the feel that they have. There are places where there's like, I have been to Philadelphia, and no matter, people love Philadelphia. I'll probably get murdered for this, but that's because the feel of Philadelphia is murder. And it's
The die has been cast.
yeah. I one of the first things I got waitlisted
DIE.
I got waitlisted at William and Mary. I always wanted, because I grew up, down in Tidewater, Virginia. I always wanted to go to William and Mary, so I got waitlisted there. And the people at William and Mary said they'll do my best William and Mary person impersonation. They said, "Oh, go to some other school. Go there and then come here." And so plan was to go to JMU for a year, and then I came to JMU, and the first
Southwest London. Yeah. But that's all right. Keep going.
Once you learn how to pronounce Gloucester and Worcester properly, then they'll consider you, but not yet.
I was going for Elkton, but okay. Yeah, they said go. So the first question I got asked by a stranger at JMU was, "Do you want to go to party?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" And it was like, it's just a comfy, cool little quirky town, and never anything other than it's called the Friendly City, but it's just it's the "you want to go to party" town. It's just never changed, and it's neat. And now there's the stoplights don't blink starting at 8:00, on weekends.
yeah.
There's a lot more options for people downtown, and it's just more awesome now. So I just love it.
I
It is
forgot
more
about the stoplights. All the stoplights would start blinking at like 11:30 or something.
Yeah.
Back
downtown is like
Downtown's
hopping.
lovely now.
I mean, it is
yeah.
like sometimes when I'm downtown on a Friday or Saturday night, I'm like, this is my town.
That was Chris
right.
wiping
It
his
just
glasses.
it just seems crazy to me. All the
Especially when there's
people.
a big event going on.
Yeah,
There's a lot
yeah,
of people
yeah.
out. It is cool.
It's fun, super fun.
Eddie Adcock.
Watch your language.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I know. Yes.
Eddie Adcock, famous banjo player. He's like
Yes,
the
yes,
Jimi Hendrix of banjo.
Yes.
And he always used to say that back in
the
the
Earl Scruggs of banjo.
well, he's bigger than Earl Scruggs in Europe. He's like, big in Japan. They had
Everyone is.
the Boston to Austin.
Brie cheese is bigger than Earl Scruggs in Europe.
Come on, you're ruining my story. It was called the Boston to Austin circuit. That the musicians, the blues musicians and the country musicians would play. And he said everybody on that circuit was called Harrisonburg Little Austin because it had the same vibe as Austin, Texas,
I
which was
totally
a
buy it.
famous music town. Willie Nelson and all kinds of famous people came out of there.
I think in the 80s and the 90s, and probably the 70s, but especially 80s, and I think the Little Grill was center of that feel. Yeah. That and the Mystic Den. But do you remember when the Mystic Den
which is
closed?
now a jail.
It's now a jail, so it hasn't changed much. You remember when the Mystic Den closed down? And they had the big vertical sign that said Mystic Den, and it was spelled. And somebody bought it, and for like 4 months, they didn't have the time or the money to change the sign, so they just scratched out Mystic and they just wrote Rib.
Oh man, they could have just crossed out the E and put in Mystic Dun.
So it was the Rib Den?
That was the Rib Den.
Yes.
So the V stayed way at the top of the sign. It was the lots of space, lots of space, lots of space. Rib Den.
Wow. Speaking of the Mystic Den, I was told that the Road Ducks are still playing, and they played at the Cave Hill Brewery the other night for like New Year's Eve.
Get out of town.
Those guys must be like 115 years old by now.
About.
I saw them at the Mystic Den back in 1982.
Wow. Well, we'll have to talk more about Harrisonburg history
on that oddly geriatric note.
One of those trivia episodes.
Take me back.
Yeah, take me back episodes. We've made it.
We made it.
Yeah, we made it to our time, and I believe you have to go.
I have to go. I have to be on another show.
Jay's parole officer is knocking on the door.
Thank you, Christian, for joining us this evening.
Man.
Yeah.
Definitely got to have you back, and
Please.
we'll ask you maybe more than 2 questions.
Yeah.
Was she a great big fat person? Bingo.
I had to do it again.
Maybe it'll be
Thank
funny.
you so much for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
fantastic. We're going bingo at the Ruby's Arcade. Our sponsor.
We are coming back. Yes, Ruby, our sponsor.
Yeah.
We'll be back at Bingo next week.
Next Tuesday, and Bingo is Life the Podcast. We're up to episode like 7,553.
46.
Unbelievable.
around there.
Episode 46. Anytime you want on the internet. See you next time, kids.
Bye. Bingo is Life, a post-bingo Harrisonburg podcast, is brought to you by the Brothers How to Show and our friends at Ruby's Arcade in downtown Harrisonburg, Virginia. If you've enjoyed the show and feel it's worth spreading a little joy in this world, please tell just one person that you like this podcast. Word of mouth, more than any other form of promotion, is how creative works get noticed and sustain themselves. Thank you, Andrew Hickey, for that bit of wisdom, and thank you, listeners, for being part of the fun.